The low season. What does it mean? What's it all about? So, clues in the name. There's a low season and there's a high season. And the easiest way to think about it is the high season on safari is the European and North American holiday season or vacation season. So when the kids are out of school and out of college and folks are having time off work. So think from July, August, September and right through to October. That's basically when people want to go on holiday and vacation. So that's the high season. In the high season, obviously by definition, you're going to have the most people around and they are going to be congregating in your honeypot destinations. So that might be the Okavango Delta, it might be the Serengeti, it might be the Masai Mara, South Luangwa, wherever you want. The big names, that's where people are going to go. So the low season is the opposite of that. The low season is all other times of the year. November, December, January, February, March, and sometimes even April and May, although mostly April and May safari camps are closed. That's because it's really raining a lot in most places and the camps need to close to renovate and to give their staff a bit of time off, and a lot of people aren't traveling then. Anyway, low season is brilliant for a lot of reasons. One, like I said, there's less people around. That's the number one thing. So if you want a safari where you're not dealing with lots of people, lots of cars, even in the busy places, even in the big name destinations, you need to think about the low season. And if you want to save yourself some money, think about the low season. Of course, in the high season, safari camps and companies know that people are going to travel, okay? So that's when they're charging their highest prices. In the low season, the drop-off is really quite significant. So they are trying to entice people to come and they're charging very, very good rates. Sometimes 75%, 60%, even 50% of the high season rate. So very, very good camps in the Serengeti, for example, that are charging 1,200, 1,500 bucks a night in the high season. In the low season, you can find them for 600 or 700 bucks a night, which is a huge discount, and you're getting incredible luxury safari camps. Okay, so less people, you're going to save yourself some money. And at this point, we also need to deal with another one of the sort of myths that is really, really embedded about safaris. And again, it's just lazy thinking by a lot of people. Lazy and inexperienced thinking, to be honest, is that it's harder to see good game, and the game viewing is better during the high season. In general, very, very general, if you go on one safari for a week in your whole life, then yes, maybe you're better to go in the high season. It's drier, the grass and the bushes are down, animals are gathering around the water. So very generally, maybe you're more likely to see animals. Depends what animals you want, depends in where and how, and there's so many variables. People say often on the internet, that great source of information, that it's harder to see stuff in the wet season because there's high grass and bushes, and that's true, and maybe some of the roads are closed and there's less vehicles, so there's less people to tell you what's going on. But the truth is, for those who maybe been on safari before or willing to just push the boat out a little bit and be a bit brave, game viewing in the wet season can be just as good and better, because the environment is so different. It's going to be green, it's going to be lush, there's birds everywhere and animals are fat and healthy, and it's just a wonderful time to be in the bush. So just for example, we were on safari now in January, and the game viewing was just incredible. Obviously, if you go to somewhere like Ndutu in Serengeti, you're not going to have any problem with your big cats. Okay, maybe that is the high season for that particular location, but depending on how you build the safari and where you go, game viewing is not going to be an issue. And it really depends on whether you're looking for a big 5 type safari where you're just ticking boxes and zooming around on your Ferrari safari, or you're willing to take things a little bit slowly and work a little bit harder and be a bit more adventurous, and you're going to see some cool stuff, really cool stuff. Okay, you're going to see elephants swimming, rolling around in the river and in the lake, and you're going to see wildebeest giving birth, you're going to see lions crossing the river, you're going to see all sorts of incredible things that you just can't see in the dry season. And remember, that's the biggest distinction in a lot of safari destinations. It's nothing to do with the time of year, it's if it's raining or not. Okay, wet and dry, that's the big distinction. If you've been on safari in the dry season, you think you've done safari and you think you got it done and dusted. You haven't, because you haven't seen anything until you've seen it in the wet season. Excuse me. Okay, so low season, do it because it's cheaper, do it because you're going to see less people, and do it because it's going to be different and you're going to see all sorts of cool things that you just can't see in the dry season. And don't let anybody talk you out of it.